Howdy. So I did a video a while back about Fort Parker and what happened over at Fort Parker, and that's in the list of my videos if you care to watch it. There's a graveyard that's associated with that as well, and I went and stopped by there and I took a few shots, and there was some things I noticed when I was in the graveyard about some of those graves, and I just got real curious about it. So I wanted to go back and check it out and see what the deal is, how so many unknown graves came to be in that cemetery. And so let's go. We'll take a trip over there and take a look. Be back in a minute. Howdy. So we're here at the cemetery, and let me give you a little background. This cemetery dates back to about 1835. This is where the original people that died in the Fort Parker massacre, battle, whatever you want to call it, are interned, and there's still new graves from today. It's still in use, this cemetery. So let me turn the camera around here so we can get a better look. So straight in front of us is the memorial to the people that got killed at Fort Parker. Now, I've walked this place a bunch of times trying to find the original place where they were interred, and haven't been able to do it. It said something about a tree stump that was from the oak tree that they were originally interred in. Never have. And then I read something else that said they thought that they've put this memorial over the spot where the original graves were. So, in memoriam, Fort Parker. Now, there's a total of 34 people in the fort when it was founded, and then 5 people were killed, 3 wounded, and 3 captured. One of the captured being Cynthia Ann Parker, who, wound up marrying a Comanche chief and having a son named Quanah Parker. Another one of the relatives, the Parker family, went up into the Weatherford area, and actually Parker County, Texas is named after him. So a lot of history there from the Parker family. I'm gonna sort of scoot across here. A lot of these graves, probably half of them at least, are close to 100 years old or older than that. And some of them might be climbing on their 200-year anniversary. This one, William Bates, passed away in 1909. There's some other pretty old-looking ones over there. Here's some from 1888. Adeline Bates. So some of them, it's a peaceful place. Got it to myself today. Anyways, and you see, we're about to come onto the area of the cemetery that really sort of baffled me when I was here the first time. And we'll walk over there right now. Now, you can see these graves here. It's just one after another, after another, after another, all the way down, marked unknown. Now, was there some sort of tragedy where a lot of people got their lives ended, and they've just, if you see, there's rows of them. Unknown. Unknown. There's more of them over here. There's got to be close to a couple of hundred of them. Just all, nobody knows who's buried there. So, in order to try and figure that out, I have searched through the internet several times. Here's more. So, these are all the unknowns here as well. Here you can see some of them have gotten sort of worn out. Some of them have fallen over, covered up by the pine needles here. More unknowns. Here, these look like they've been shifted by tree roots, over 100 years old. There's more of the unknowns. And here's one you can barely, J.M. Price, and I can't really read the date there, or Prine maybe. More unknown, unknown, and then over this way there's even more. So let's why would they have so many unknown markers in one spot, in one cemetery? It's a big mystery to me. I've come across a couple of explanations. Look at this. Let's see if we can get the dates off of this. This one, 1904, passed away, and his name was, or her, was Anderson. Maybe it says on the other side. Davis, James F., passed away in 1943, born in 1877. This one over here is like it broke in two. Bynum. And I can't read the date that he passed away, but he was born, it looks like 1836. More unknown, 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 unknown. Here you've got, these are from the 1800s, I believe, 1880s. Here's another with the fence around it. And then here's one, the fence around it, and I don't see any headstones. Maybe that's some kind of portal. I don't know. I'm not going to take any chances. Unless I got flowers to put on those graves, I'm not going in the fences, and I don't have any flowers with me. So that's that. So now you can see over this way, just pan here. Those are all those little rectangle looking, those are all the unknowns. And then over here, we've got more of the unknowns. So take a little walk over this way. I think the most logical explanation that I've run across, and this, some people thought maybe there was some kind of pandemic, and that so they just were burying people so quick they didn't get IDs on them. Possible for some of the people that are buried there. Some of the people said there were probably temporary markers over there, and they were probably made out of wood or like a stone that just had a hand etching in it, like a piece of limestone, and that wore away before someone had a chance to record the names off of the stones. So when those stones wore off, they just put a marker on there that said unknown, just to let people know, hey, there is somebody resting here, and you know, we just don't know who they are. And that seems like it might be about the most logical explanation. These are just people who their families probably didn't have the money to pay a stone carver to make a big nice headstone or anything for them. So they did the best they could and either took a piece of stone and tried to carve it themselves and just hand chisel a name into it, or they used a wood cross with the name carved in it. I've seen a lot of that down in South Texas, even to this day, where they're putting these wood crosses with the name carved into it. So and some of those are going on 200 years old now. They've been burying people here since the 1830s. So they just wore out and couldn't read them anymore. So just to mark the spot, they put an unknown stone there. And that seems to me about the most logical explanation. So they say that there's graves here from just about every war the United States has been involved in, from the Civil War all the way up through the current conflicts in the Middle East. A lot of pioneers are buried here. People who were founding families in this part of Texas, a lot of them are here. And it's just a beautiful place. It's just a gorgeous place. You know, it's a little spooky looking, but hey, it's a cemetery. It's supposed to be, right? Anyway, so that's about it. And this is the Fort Parker Cemetery next to Groesbeck, Texas. And that's all for now, so we'll see you next time. Take it easy. Bye.